What's up, everybody? How y'all guys doing? Appreciate all y'all being here. As always, man. 6 game slate tonight. Another slate where we have a lot of injury news that's come out during the day. Things have definitely changed since I made my video last night. Kyle Lowry's been ruled out. I really liked Kyle Lowry when I first looked at the slate last night, but obviously he's no longer viable. There are some guys from Toronto I do like now with Kyle Lowry out, and that we'll talk about. We also got some big news from Charlotte. PJ Washington's out and Terry Rozier is doubtful, so guys like Miles Bridges, who I already had interest in, I think, are even better plays. Really like Devontae Graham now, assuming Rozier's out. There's value from Charlotte as well. We got, Cody Martin probably starts. He's the guy I'm looking to for value. I think Brad Wanamaker gets more minutes off the bench. He's someone I'm looking to for value. And we got news from the Jazz as well. They are resting Joe Ingles and Royce O'Neal are going to be out for rest. Jordan Clarkson's doubtful again, so we got some value from Utah as well. Going to be interesting to see what they do with the starting lineup. I assume that Georges Niang starts for Royce O'Neal, but I guess we'll see. If Niang does start, 3,100, another guy you can throw into the value pool, sir. So there's a lot of value now. There's a lot of good plays that have opened up definitely with all this news that we will talk about. But as always, guys, appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate everyone being in chat. Hope you guys are having a good day. Let's win some money tonight, baby. Let's get it. Let's get that money. This may be the night Nurkic starts and kills it. I don't know about that, Mark. I mean, they've been pretty slow to ramp up his minutes. I'd be surprised if Nurkic gets more than his normal, 22 whatever minutes that he's been playing. Until we hear otherwise, I think they're going to keep Nurkic around 22-ish minutes, if I had to guess, until we hear otherwise. But yeah, the night Nurkic does finally get like 30 minutes, I mean, he's going to smash, especially if he's still 5,300 when that happens. Flynn for all the money. Yeah, Flynn, I mean, he looks like a really good play now. No Lowry, no Van Vliet. We saw what Malachi Flynn was doing when those two guys were out. He's playing big minutes. He was really productive. They might start DeAndre Bembry at point guard, but either way, I think Flynn gets, a lot of minutes off the bench. Hard not to like him at 5,400. He's definitely, I think, one of the better options in the mid-range now that Lowry's out. And I do like Bembry a lot now with Lowry out. I think Bembry's someone we can definitely look to for value. We saw him have good games whenever Lowry and Van Vliet were both out. These two games against the Lakers and Wizards, he started, played 30, 32 minutes. I assume we get back to around 30 minutes from Bembry tonight. So another guy I'm looking to for value. Like Bembry, Wanamaker, Niang if he starts, Cody Martin if he starts, Zeller with PJ Washington out I like for value. So a lot of value right now for sure. You can definitely pay up for multiple studs today. I mean, we don't even have anyone above 10K, but if you want to go if you want to build a lineup with Donovan Mitchell, Dame, Sabonis, PG, you can definitely make it work, I think. Not saying, I don't know if that's the route I'm going to be going, but I think, you can definitely make it work. Ready to continue my winning streak? Let's get that money. Hey, let's get it, Patrick. Let's get it, my man. What do you think about Jaylen Brown? I would say that if I had to play anyone from Boston today, it would probably be him. But I don't think Boston's going to be a team I really look to on this slate. There's a lot of guys from the Clippers I like with Kawhi out. There's a lot of Hornets I like now. There's some Raptors I like. These Jazz guys look more appealing. So, those are kind of the teams I'm focusing on. Boston, I don't really think I'm going to get to anyone on Boston, at least not in my one lineup. If I was playing multiple lineups in tournaments, I'd have exposure to guys like Brown and Tatum. But, if I'm just playing one lineup, I don't think I get to any Celtics on this slate. Smash the like button. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. I appreciate all y'all being here as always. Be sure to hit that like button when you do tune in. Flynn or Devontae Graham? I mean, I probably would take Devontae Graham. Graham's someone I like a lot. Just no Rozier, no LaMelo, no Malik Monk. I mean, they have to give Devontae Graham 35 minutes tonight. I would be very surprised if he plays less than 32, 34 minutes. He should be very productive as well, with all those guys out. So if I had to pick one there, Steve, I think I would go with Devontae Graham, but I like both quite a bit. I think Graham and Flynn are, two of the better point guard options today. I know on Yahoo they're the same price tag, so I'm guessing that's why you're asking that, talking Yahoo. When it's time to bang, you fire up Niang. I mean, hey, if Niang starts, he's a value play I will definitely be looking to. We haven't really seen him get many minutes this year, but now is a chance where they should play him, around 30 minutes. No Ingles, no Clarkson, no Royce O'Neal. That's a lot of minutes to go around. So I expect Niang to probably be the biggest beneficiary there. They could do something weird with the starting lineup. They could start Juwan Morgan or something. They have a lot of guys. They have Ersan now. I guess they could start Ersan. But it seems like Niang would be the most likely guy to move into the starting lineup just because he's been in the rotation. He's been a guy that plays like 15, 20 minutes a night. You would think that he would be the most likely guy to move into the starting lineup now. But, I guess if they do start like Ersan or Juwan Morgan, you could maybe late swap because, all these guys are so cheap that if you play Niang and he doesn't start, you could just swap to whoever does. But even if Niang comes off the bench, I think he still gets like mid-20s minutes. So he's someone I'm definitely looking to for cheap. Bembry or Wanamaker? Oh, that's close. I think I would probably take Bembry just because he's going to start and probably gets a few more minutes, but I think both are good values, Bembry and Wanamaker. Marcus Morris or Jalen McDaniels? Yeah, with all these Charlotte guys out, I think Jalen McDaniels is someone, another guy that benefits. I'd still probably take Marcus Morris there, but it's definitely a little bit closer now, but I'd still take Morris, I think. Sabonis or Mitchell? I think I'd rather have Sabonis, honestly. I think Mitchell's a really good pay-up option, but I do worry a bit about blowout. I'm not usually someone that fades guys because I'm worried about blowout, but before all this news came out from Utah, the Jazz were favored by 17. I don't know what they're favored by now. I mean, they're still favored by 16. Like, does Donovan Mitchell play 36 minutes tonight on a back-to-back against one of the worst teams in the league? Like, I don't know. I would definitely be a bit worried about that. So I would take Sabonis there, I think. Sabonis, I think, is a good play regardless. I mean, we've seen what he's done these last few games without Miles Turner. Miles Turner out again. I really like Sabonis. I would say Sabonis and PG are probably my two favorite pay-up options. Which Martin is more valuable on Charlotte, Caleb, or Cody? I assume one of the two starts, Michael. So whichever one starts, I think it's probably going to be Cody. I think he's been the guy that's been getting the more minutes recently. Neither one have been playing a ton, but I think Cody's been in the rotation, whereas Caleb, his minutes have been up and down. But either way, whichever one starts, whichever one of the Martin twins, I think makes them a decent value. I would still probably put like Bembry, Wanamaker, Niang. I'd probably put those guys ahead of the Martin twins, but they're definitely viable now with no Rozier. Still on Sabonis? Yeah, I still like Sabonis quite a bit. Any interest on Capella or Siakam? Not as high on Capella, but Siakam I definitely like. No Lowry, no Van Vliet. Siakam should be productive when he's on the floor. I know he's had some, disappointing games over these last few when Van Vliet and Lowry have both been out, but I still do like Siakam quite a bit. Thoughts on Tony Bradley? I don't think I'm going to Tony Bradley on this slate. There's just too many other guys I prefer. Fox has won me so much money this year. That's my boy. Yeah, Fox was good last night. If you played him, he definitely came through. I mean, it seems like he crushes every time he plays the Pelicans. Like, Fox just smashes. This sound good as of right now with the news that has came out so far. Flynn, Paul George, Cody Martin, Bridges, Capella, Graham, Baisley, Brogdon. I mean, yeah, I guess that's fine for now. If Caleb Martin starts over Cody, then I'd probably take Caleb. But, yeah, that's fine for now. What do you think about Brogdon? If you're talking about Malcolm Brogdon, I mean, yeah, I think Malcolm Brogdon's a solid option. He was someone I had a lot more interest in before all this news came out. Now I probably prefer guys like Malachi Flynn and Devontae Graham over Brogdon. But yeah, Brogdon's coming off a big game. We know he's got that upside in him. He's been a little bit inconsistent this year, but it wouldn't be surprising to see Brogdon go for 40 to 50 again. But for cheaper, I think I prefer guys like Devontae Graham, Malachi Flynn now. Thoughts on Zeller? Yeah, I mean, Zeller, another guy that benefits. With no P.J. Washington, I assume that Zeller starts at center, and I assume that, you see him and Biyombo basically split the center minutes. I'd lean more towards Zeller playing like 26, 28 minutes, and Biyombo getting like 18 to 20. So if Zeller does start at center, then yeah, he's another guy you can throw into the, the value pool. He's not that cheap on DK, but he's still someone I'll be looking to. Assuming that he does start. If they'd start Biyombo, then Biyombo is probably the guy I'd go to just because he's way cheaper. Tony Bradley or Tristan Thompson? I mean, I'm not a big fan of either one. Like, I'd probably take Cody Zeller over those two guys, but I guess if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Thompson, I think. But I'm not a big fan of either. Booker, Tatum, or Sabonis? Give me Sabonis there. Thoughts on Zubac? Yeah, I'm interested in Zubac. There's other centers I think I prefer. Like, I think I prefer Boucher and Siakam. Sabonis you can play at center, who I really like. But Zubac's definitely an option. Leave Utah alone back-to-back, blow up potential. They already resting bumps tonight. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Donovan Mitchell's playing. Like, I really thought that they might rest him here. Like, I'd be surprised if Donovan Mitchell plays like 36 minutes again. I mean, he could, but there's just so many ways that, that like blow out or they limit his minutes on the back-to-back. They just run a super deep rotation. This feels like one of those games where things could just get a little weird for the Jazz. Like they could just run a super deep rotation tonight. Always play one lineup in the 12-hour single and same one in the big tournament. Changed my lineup in single entry and thought I cashed both lineups. I didn't miss out on $3,000 extra. Still won $1,700. Oh, that sucks, Mitchell. But hey, at least you still won $1,700. That's pretty good, especially off a $12 single entry. If that's what you won off that, that's awesome. That's a good ROI. Can you rate the Charlotte and Utah guys? So for Charlotte, for me, it's probably Devontae Graham number 1, Miles Bridges number 2. Number 3 would be close between McDaniels and Wanamaker. Probably McDaniels, I'd go 3. Wanamaker 4. Zeller 5. But like all 5 of those guys are viable. And then you could, if whichever one of the Martin twins starts, if they do, you could put them in there too. But I think like Devontae Graham and Miles Bridges are like my 2 favorite plays from Charlotte. Now in Utah, like I don't know yet if I'm playing Donovan Mitchell. Right now I prefer Sabonis and I prefer PG. But Donovan Mitchell, obviously, if Donovan Mitchell plays 36 minutes, he's very likely to smash again. I'm just a bit worried that maybe his minutes somehow get limited in a blowout, in a game that could blow out in a back-to-back. But Donovan Mitchell has to be up there for the Utah guys. If Niang starts, he's probably my favorite value overall today. I don't know if he's going to start, but if he does, he'd be up there. And then, like, Bojan, Mike Conley's viable, but I would say like my 2 favorite Utah guys are definitely Mitchell and Niang if he starts. Zeller or Boucher? If you have the salary, I think I'd play Boucher. Sabonis or Tatum? Give me Sabonis. Brandon Goodwin interest if Trey's out? I mean, yeah, if Trey's out, I'd be interested in Brandon Goodwin, but it seems like Trey's going to play. Last report I saw, I think one of the beat writers tweeted out that he was expected to play, so I'm expecting Trey to be in. But if he's out, then yeah, Brandon Goodwin becomes a really good value. OG, Brogdon, or Boucher? It'd be between Brogdon or Boucher for me. Probably would take Boucher there, but that's definitely close between the 2. Harrell, if Drummond's out? Yeah, Drummond's now questionable too, which is pretty important news because Marc Gasol is also questionable. If we get a scenario where Drummond and Gasol are both out, then yeah, Montrezl Harrell probably going to have to play 30-plus minutes. He'd be another, center option that would be viable. Drummond killed me last night, dude. God. I'm still tilted about that, man. I feel like if Drummond plays tonight, he's going to smash just because I won't play him. I played him last night, and he was so bad, so I'm sure if he plays tonight and I don't play him, he's going to smash. But, yeah, I don't think I can go there. I will have some interest, though, in Montrezl Harrell if Drummond's out. Any interest in Bazley? Yeah, I have some interest in Bazley. I'd probably still prefer, like, Miles Bridges over him, but Bazley's definitely viable for sure. In his first game back, like I don't even think they didn't really limit his minutes in his first game back. He got like 30-plus minutes. Yeah, he played 36 minutes in his first game back, had 34 DK points. So 5,500 still affordable. Bazley's definitely someone you can look to. Like I said, I prefer Bridges, but Bazley's in play for sure. Zeller and Marcus Morris or Flynn and Tristan Thompson? I'd probably take Zeller and Marcus Morris there. Zeller or Bridges? Give me Bridges. Trey or Damian Lillard? I would say that if Trey plays, I'd probably take Trey between those 2. So true, man. Always the opposite of what we think. Yeah, that's very true. It seems like anytime you play somebody and they bust, if you don't play in the next slate, they're going to smash. So I feel like that's what's going to happen with Drummond. I played Drummond last night. He was so bad. If he plays tonight and I don't play him, he's going to smash. I already know it. Would you play Brogdon and Sabonis in the same lineup? I'm fine with it, Brandon. Like I said, there's still other point guards I prefer over Brogdon. Like I like Flynn and Devontae Graham for cheaper now. But yeah, you can definitely play Brogdon and Sabonis together. I mean, there's a lot of guys from the Clippers I like. PG, Marcus Morris. So right now, I think my dummy lineup has like 3 or 4 guys from that game. So I could definitely see, stacking up Brogdon and Sabonis and then playing PG and Morris. I'm fine with that. Zeller or McDaniels? Oh, I'd probably take McDaniels between those 2. Like I said, I think my favorite Charlotte guys are Devontae Graham and Miles Bridges for sure, and then McDaniels, Zeller, and whichever one of the Martin twins starts. Wanamaker, too, I guess you could put into the value pool. Thoughts on Kendrick Nunn? Yeah, I had a lot more interest in Kendrick Nunn before we got all this news. Now that we have some good point guard plays like Malachi Flynn, like Devontae Graham, we have a cheap option in Brad Wanamaker. I'm not as high on Kendrick Nunn, but he did start last game and he played over 30 minutes. If Kendrick Nunn starts again, he's another cheap option that's worth rostering, I think. But I'm not as high as I'm not as high on him as I was, yesterday before we had all this news. What do you think about Batum? I mean, yeah, Batum's probably I would say he's like my fourth or fifth favorite Clipper, but he should benefit without Kawhi. And we saw last game he played over 30 minutes off the bench without Kawhi, and he was really productive. Had 38 DK points in 31 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, Batum you could definitely put into another value guy worth considering. But my favorite Clippers I think tonight are definitely PG and Marcus Morris. Can you play both Bogdanovich brothers? Well, Daniel, I think something's actually crazy. Those guys, Bogdan and Bojan, they actually are not related. I had to look that up, but they're actually not related. But can you play them? I mean, Bojan I have more interest in now. Bogdan, on this slate, I don't know if I'm going to go to him unless Trey gets ruled out. But yeah, I guess you could play him. I mean, if I had to pick one of the Bogdanoviches, though, I think I'd go with Bojan, especially because he's cheaper. But the funny thing is they're not actually related. Kind of crazy. You would think guys with the same last name, the first name sounds very similar, and they're not even related. KD minute predictions. I don't even think. Well, I think that game got postponed. The game was supposed to be played yesterday. It got postponed today. I think they're playing right now. Actually, the Wolves and the Nets. I wonder what KD's doing. Let me check real quick because I had a lot of interest in KD yesterday before that game got postponed. Brooklyn's up 20 right now. KD's played 7 minutes. Oh, that's not great. 6:30 left in the second quarter, and KD's played 7 minutes. He's got 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Well, kind of glad they didn't play yesterday because I probably would have played KD. Not saying that's the stat line he would have put up today, but kind of glad they didn't play, honestly. How much trust do you have in Nunn? I mean, I'd only be going there if he starts again. So if he does start again, I think he probably gets 25, 30 minutes. Again, there's some other guys I prefer, like Flynn, Devontae Graham. You got Wanamaker for cheap, who I have interest in. But Nunn's viable if he does start again. Boucher or OG? I think I'd rather have Boucher there. Bogdanovich as a last name in Serbia is similar to Brown in U.S. I did not know that. I'm guessing, yeah, that must be a very popular last name then. But yeah, those two guys, Bojan and Bogdan, they're not related. Utility 3.7K and below. I mean, first guy that comes to mind would probably be Georges Niang if he starts. Yeah, it would probably be him. Georges Niang if he starts. Or you could go to, I assume one of the Martin twins is going to start for Charlotte, so you could go to them. But Georges Niang if he starts is probably my favorite guy there. How do you feel about Drummond? I mean, I liked Drummond a lot last night, and it didn't really work out. On this slate, I don't think I'm going to play him, just because there's so many other options I prefer. Like I said earlier, I know that since I played Drummond last night and he busted, if I don't play him tonight, he's going to go off. So take that for what it's worth. If I don't play Drummond tonight, he's probably going to smash. And I don't think I'm playing him. Was really high on Bruce Brown yesterday. B Brown yesterday had 9.7 boards in 10 minutes. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Bruce Brown. Yeah, I did like Bruce Brown yesterday before the game had gotten postponed. I saw they didn't start him, though. They started Chris Gioza. Kind of weird. But yeah, Bruce Brown, I guess he's having a good game. Harrell or Boucher? I'd probably still take Boucher there, but it's definitely going to be a lot closer. If Gasol and Drummond both get ruled out, it will definitely be close for me. But I think I'd still take Boucher right now. Thoughts on this lineup for single entry? Flynn, Paul George, Bridges, Sabonis, Harrell, if Drummond's out, Graham, Morris, McDaniels. I mean, that looks pretty solid for now. That looks pretty solid to me. I don't see anywhere you could really change. I mean, I'm fine with all 8 of those guys, honestly. Just got in here, where's the value at? I mean, there's a ton of value now with Lowry out, with not Paul George, but with Terry Rozier doubtful, with PJ Washington out, Ingles out, Royce O'Neal out. There's plenty of value. Guys like Brad Wanamaker with Terry Rozier doubtful, I think, are in play. If Niang starts for the Jazz, I like him for value. If Cody Zeller starts, he's in play for value. There's a couple more. I mean, Kendrick Nunn, if he starts again, you can look to for cheap. There's plenty of cheap options today. I would say, if Niang starts 3,100, he's probably my favorite value overall. Favorite center not named Sabonis? I mean, his next favorite center behind Sabonis is probably Siakam for me. Either Siakam or Boucher. If Drummond and Gasol are out, who do you take? Boucher over Harrell? Yeah, I think I'd still take Boucher there, Gabriel, but it would definitely be a lot closer. Harrell for me, I'm only going to consider Harrell if Drummond and Gasol are both out. If they play, I have no interest in Harrell. But even if they're out, I think I'd still lean Boucher, honestly. Do you like a Mitchell Gobert stack? How many Jazz is too much? I mean, you could stack Mitchell and Gobert. I don't think I'm playing like 4 Jazz or anything because there's just, you got these Clippers guys without Kawhi. You got these Charlotte guys with no Rozier, with no PJ Washington. You got, the Hawks or the Raptors guys without Lowry, without Van Vliet. Like, there's so many other teams that are shorthanded as well that I don't think I'm going to be playing like 4 Jazz. But I think 2, maybe 3 is fine. So if you want to play Mitchell, Gobert, and maybe Niang if he starts, I'm fine with that. How you rank the Charlotte guys in terms of priority? I mean, we already answered this. For me, it's Devontae Graham number 1, Miles Bridges number 2. A little bit of a drop-off, and then, probably Jalen McDaniels 3, Cody Zeller 4, Wanamaker 5, and then if one of the Martin twins starts, you could put them in there. But my 2 favorite Charlotte guys are definitely Graham and Bridges. Trenton Harrell or Bembry and Drummond? I mean, if Drummond plays, I don't have any interest in Harrell, so I would take Bembry and Drummond there. We like an Ayton tonight. I mean, I'm not that high on Ayton. Like, they're just, I think, other guys I prefer. Boucher, Drummond, if he plays, I think someone you can look to. If Drummond's out, you could go to Harrell. You got Sabonis and Siakam I like at the top of the center position. You got, Zubac for a little bit cheaper. I don't think I'm going to go to Ayton today. Especially not in one lineup. If I'm playing multiple lineups, then maybe he makes my player pool. But in one lineup, I don't think I play Ayton. Bojan, Zeller, or Niang and Boucher? I'd probably take Niang and Boucher there, but that's definitely close, Gabriel. Who would you prefer, Wanamaker or Bembry? Probably Bembry, just because I think he's going to start and probably plays a few more minutes. But it's definitely close between the two. But I think I would lean Bembry there, John. But you love your stuff. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. 4 centers in rotation for Toronto. You really like Siakam and Boucher. I mean, they have Aaron Baines. Do they have 4 centers? I don't think they have. I mean, technically Siakam's like a power forward, and they're going to start Siakam alongside Boucher. That's what they've been doing recently. I mean, they have Keem Birch now. Did Keem Birch even play last game? So he did play 18 minutes, I guess. But yeah, last game against the Knicks, you still got 36 minutes from Siakam. You still got, let's see, you still got 30 minutes from Boucher, and that was with Keem Birch playing 18 minutes. And that was with Aaron Baines. Oh, so Aaron Baines didn't even play last game. So yeah, I wouldn't be worried about that, Suave. I think you're going to get 30 plus minutes from both Boucher and Siakam. Siakam probably plays like high 30s or mid 30s. What point guard that will most likely be under 10% owned would you go for in a tournament center in your opinion? I mean, I really like I said, I really like I really like Devontae Graham and I really like Malachi Flynn, but they're probably going to be more popular than that. So low owned point guard, I mean, Reggie Jackson I still like with Kawhi out. He's going to be a lot lower owned than someone like Malachi Flynn, so probably take Reggie Jackson there. A center, if you're looking for like a low owned center, again, like I really like Sabonis and Siakam, but I think they're probably going to be more popular than that. So probably Boucher. I don't think Boucher at his price is going to be that popular. So probably like Boucher and Reggie Jackson for low-owned point guard, low-owned center. I may take 1 or 2 players from the Celtics-Blazers game and hope for low ownership. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't see there being a ton of ownership going to that game. I think a lot of ownership tonight is going to be focused on Toronto, the Clippers, the Hornets, the Jazz. Like, those are going to be the teams that get a lot of ownership. So yeah, I don't see a ton of ownership coming from those two 10 o'clock games. 42 likes, 181 watching. Hit the like button, peeps. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. I appreciate all y'all being here. Over 180 people in here right now. Appreciate it if you would all hit the like. As always, I do appreciate the likes. Graham PG, Bridges, Niang, Sabonis, Bembry, McDaniels, Trae Young. I mean, that looks pretty solid to me, Christy. Looks pretty solid to me. Just, make sure Trae Young's actually playing. Stars and scrubs kind of night. Who's your favorite spin up? I mean, for me, I think it's definitely Paul George and Sabonis are my 2 favorite spin ups right now. Donovan Mitchell will probably be 3rd behind those 2 guys. Is Trey playing? I mean, last update I saw was that he was expected to, so I'm assuming he's going to be in. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Good luck tonight. Hey, good luck, Jason. Good luck, my man. What do you think about this for now? Graham, Paul George, Morris, Niang, Sabonis, Flynn, Baisley, Boucher. That looks pretty solid, Brendan. Looks pretty solid to me. Siakam or Capella? I think I'd rather have Siakam now that Lowry's out. I'd rather have Siakam. Miles Bridges or Flynn? Got it. I mean, that's super close. I think I'd take Flynn there, but it's definitely close between those two. Baisley dropped a 40-piece last game. I mean, yeah, I was surprised that his first game back in over a month, and he played like 36 minutes in his first game back. I was surprised by that. But yeah, if they're going to play Baisley 35, 36 minutes a night, I mean, he should be productive now with no, all these guys out. SGA, Horford, all these guys out. Roby out. How many Clippers is too much? I mean, I don't think I'd be playing 3 or 4 Clippers, but I think 2 or 3 is fine. Probably 2 is good. Like PG and Morris are definitely my 2 favorites. Just because there's other teams that are shorthanded. Charlotte, the Raptors, the Jazz. There's other teams that are shorthanded. You don't want to be playing too many guys from one team. At least I don't think you want to do that. Harrell, Flynn, or Miles Bridges. For me there, it's going to be between Flynn or Miles Bridges. I think I'd take Flynn again, but yeah, it's super close between those two. Time to fly. Good luck. Thanks, Go. Hey, good luck, T-Money. Good luck, my man. Baisley or Bridges. Every time I play Bridges, he burns me. I mean, I'd still take Bridges there, Brendan. But yeah, I feel you. I feel like anytime that Bridges is like really chalky, he just never comes through. But you'd have to think, I mean, no LaMelo, no Gordon Hayward, no Terry Rozier, no PJ Washington. I mean, Bridges should be productive when he's on the floor. He should play a ton of minutes as well. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Miles Bridges plays 40 minutes tonight. I mean, I think he played like 41 last game. You like Moses Brown from the Thunder? I mean, not really. I don't have any interest in Moses Brown. I haven't even considered Moses Brown. Like, God, it's been weeks since I played him. He just hasn't been any good, and there's so many other centers I prefer. Playing Sabonis, would you prefer Brogdon or LeVert? I'd probably take Brogdon between the two. Thoughts on Gary Trent? I mean, yeah, he's another Raptor that's in play for me. My 2 favorite plays from the Raptors, I think, are definitely Siakam and Malachi Flynn. But Boucher I like. Bembry I like for cheap. Trent you can throw into the mix. I mean, all 5 of those guys are viable. Plus OG I don't mind either. Can you leave $700 on the table? I mean, if you like your lineup, Gabriel, and you don't see anywhere you could upgrade, I think it's fine. Normally, though, if I have $700 on the table, there's normally somewhere I can make a change. But yeah, if you like your lineup, that's fine. Is a small 730 stack of Flynn, Bogdan, Sabonis, PG sound okay? I mean, like I said, Bogdan I'm not that high on at his price, but yeah, Flynn, Sabonis, PG, I like all 3 of those guys quite a bit, so that's fine with me. Thoughts on Zeller? If Zeller starts, he's in play for me. Just because without PJ Washington, I think you're going to get 48 minutes from Zeller Biyombo, which likely means 26-28 for Zeller and then 18-20 for Biyombo. So, yeah, if Zeller starts, he's in play for me. I can never get the Raptors right. I mean, I kind of feel you there, Ryan. It feels like all these slates recently where the Raptors have been like really chalky. They just never come through. But I mean, it's hard not to like some of these guys, especially like Flynn. I think is just too cheap. I mean, like Siakam, Boucher feel kind of appropriately priced, but it's obviously their ceiling and their floor is a lot higher now without Lowry. I wasn't as high on them before Lowry had gotten ruled out. Now that Lowry's out, Siakam, Boucher, Flynn, I like quite a bit. Who do you see as a low-owned contrarian pay-up option tonight? I mean, Damian Lillard should be really low-owned, so if you want to go to him, he'll probably be under 10% owned if I had to guess. I don't really like Lillard on this slate, but he's going to be low-owned, so you could go to him. You like Kanter? It's a revenge game against the Celtics. I don't have any interest in Kanter. With Nurkic playing, Kanter is not someone I'm even considering at his price. Jaylen Brown looks like a good pivot from all the chalk tonight at wing. I mean, yeah, like, I guess if I'm paying up at small forward, I could see going to Jaylen Brown, but there's just, I think, like, I'd rather have Bridges for cheaper. I think I'd rather have Gary Trent for cheaper. But yeah, I mean, Brown should be low on. I don't think any of those Celtics are going to be that popular. If I had to play one, though, I think it would be Jaylen Brown. Just got word Markieff Morris is questionable. Okay. I don't think that changes too much, but interesting. Make sure you roster the right Morris tonight. Just by the way, guys, you got both. You got the Morris brothers playing, so make sure you choose the right one. They're both the same price tag, and they're both power forward eligible. So, in my opinion, I think the Clippers' Marcus Morris is the better play. Markieff is now questionable, by the way. Bembry burns me whenever I play him and goes off whenever I stay away. I hate it. Hey, I feel you there. I mean, I can't remember what slate it was. Bembry was starting and he was minimum salary. He smashed, like he put up like 35, and I think the next day he played like 20 minutes. Without Lowry, though, we've seen Bembry have pretty good games. With no Lowry, with no with no Van Vliet, Bembry his minutes should be there, and he should be a lot more productive with those guys out. So I didn't really have any interest in Bembry before the Lowry news, but now that Lowry's out, I think Bembry's a really good value. Any love for Butler or Tatum, or do you drop down to Siakam? I mean, I think I'd rather drop down to Siakam, but Butler and Tatum, I think, they're solid low-owned options. Like, if you have a really chalky lineup and you want to put one or two low-owned guys in there, I think Butler and Tatum make sense to go to. But neither one are guys I'm really starting my lineup with. Drummond or Boucher? I'd rather have Boucher. Tony Bradley revenge game? I mean, I think you're just kind of getting too cute there. I don't have any interest in Tony Bradley. Utility 6.1K and below. Let's see. I'll probably go with Gary Trent. He's the first guy that stands out. Either Gary Trent or Miles Bridges. Probably Miles Bridges, honestly. Marcus Morris or Bridges? I mean, I like both quite a bit. I'd probably take Bridges if you have the salary, but it's definitely close between the two. Yeah, so you got Marcus Morris and you got Markieff Morris playing today. You got Cody Martin and Caleb Martin that are viable now, depending on which one starts. And then you got Miles Bridges and Mikal Bridges playing. So if you're hand building, make sure you're choosing the right guys when you make your lineups if you're hand building. How do you feel about McDaniels as a value? I mean, yeah, now that P.J. Washington and Rozier are expected to be out, I have a lot more interest in McDaniels. He wasn't really someone I was that high on heading into the night, but now that Washington's out, I feel pretty confident we get 30-plus minutes from Jalen McDaniels, and he's been, since being inserted into the starting lineup, he's been relatively productive, and his minutes should be even higher now. So he's another guy from Charlotte that I like. Like I said, I think he's my third favorite Hornet behind Bridges and behind Devontae Graham. Ayton could be a sneaky low-owned center play to get away from the chalk. I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, Ayton's not going to be popular at all. So if you want someone that's low-owned, if you build out your lineup and it's going to be really chalky and you just want to make one or two low-owned pivots, I mean, Ayton's going to be low-owned, I would say. Thoughts on Marcus Morris, Bembry, Niang, Brogdon, Mitchell, Gobert, and Bogdan Bogdanovic? I mean, I guess that's solid. Like, I'm not that high on Bogdan at his price. Like, his price has gotten way up there, but that's solid, I guess, Michael, for now. No interest in a 4K Bradley. I mean, I don't see any reason why you would be playing Tony Bradley on this slate. Like, at best, he's going to play, like, low 20s minutes. I mean, at this point, you're just point chasing. I mean, I know he put up 42 DK points last game, but at this point, you're just point chasing. Like, there's so many other guys I'd rather play over Bradley. Like, I'd rather play, if Cody Zeller starts, I'd rather play Cody Zeller. I'd rather play Zubac. If Biyombo starts, I'd rather play him for $1,000 cheaper. Like, I have no interest in Tony Bradley. Like, I rarely play, these backup centers that need to smash in, like, 22 minutes. I mean, I know Mo Bamba got hurt last night, but it was so crazy that Mo Bamba was, like, 30% owned again. I mean, I thought that was the worst play. Like, playing guys that need to put up 30 DK points in 20 minutes, just, I don't know. I never really go to guys like that. Unless it's like a Boban who can put up 30 in 15 minutes. Gary Trent or Flynn? I mean, I'd probably rather take Flynn for the savings, but both are viable, Gabriel. Both are viable. Bojan or Batum? I'd probably take Bojan there. I mean, yeah, if you want to go to Bradley, look, John, you can play him, but me personally, I have no interest in Tony Bradley. Graham, Mitchell, Flynn, Bembry, Sabonis, Bojan, Siakam, Marcus Morris. I think that looks pretty solid, Simicar. I think it looks pretty solid. What are the cash lock plays? I'm at work on my lunch. I mean, it's too hard to tell. Like, we're still 2.5 hours till lock. You can never really say there are any cash locks 2.5 hours till lock, but I like Malachi Flynn quite a bit now with Lowry out. I like Devontae Graham quite a bit with Rozier doubtful. I feel like those are two guys I'm definitely playing, but I can never say for sure this far away from lock. I mean, asking, like I said, I get so tilted when people ask who are the cash locks. Like, that's got to be the stupidest question you can ask. Which team has the best value on the slate, Toronto, Atlanta, or Charlotte? I mean, Toronto doesn't really have a ton of cheap guys outside of Bembry. I mean, like, Malachi Flynn's not that cheap. So it's probably Charlotte, because you have McDaniels, who's 4,300, who's in play. You got Wanamaker, who's 3,800, who's in play. You got Zeller, who's under 5K, who's in play. One of the Martin twins, they're viable if they start. So probably Charlotte, but yeah. Jackson or Flynn? I mean, I'd take Malachi Flynn there, but I think Reggie Jackson is going to be a lot lower owned. So if you want to make that pivot, you can. But I would still probably take Flynn just straight up. Is Niang a lock? I mean, if he starts, I think he's a really good value play. Nobody's ever a lock in DFS. I say this all the time. Like, Niang could start and he could twist his ankle 2 minutes into the game. But yeah, if Niang starts, I think he's a really good value play. Favorite low-owned tournament value? Well, I think, let's see. If Niang starts, I think he'll be popular. I think Bembry's going to be pretty popular. Wanamaker will probably get ownership. I don't think if either one of the Martin twins starts, I don't think they're going to be that popular, so it'd probably be one of them. If Cody Martin or Caleb Martin starts, it'd probably be one of them. They should be a lot lower owned than some of these other guys we've talked about. Take it easy, Noah. That's why you go. A lot of rookies here. I mean, yeah, I guess, but I just hate when people ask that question. It's just, I don't know, it tilts me. I know people just come in here, ask who the locks are, and then they leave, but it is what it is. Like, I see a lot of these people that ask those questions, I see them in other people's chats as well, asking the same questions. Assuming Young plays, he could be a good low-owned contrarian option. I mean, yeah, I agree, especially if we don't get that news until, closer to lock. Like, if we don't get word till 7 o'clock that Trae Young's playing, I mean, I don't think he's going to be that popular at all. Like, I'd probably, if I'm looking for a low-owned pay-up option, it would be Trae Young if he plays. Thoughts on Brad Wanamaker? Yeah, we mentioned Brad Wanamaker. He's been playing relatively solid minutes. He's been getting like mid-20s minutes with Rozier in. Now that Rozier is expected to be out, I think we probably get around 30 minutes from Wanamaker off the bench. So he's another very solid value. Let's get this money. Good luck, everybody. Hey, good luck, Willie Jones. Good luck, my man. How do you feel about Solomon Hill? Like, Solomon Hill is just someone I never play. Like, I know Gallo's doubtful. Tony Snell's out, but like Solomon Hill's price has gotten up to 4K. I just don't think I can go there. Like, I'd rather play Jalen McDaniels over Solomon Hill, 100%. So, and I know McDaniels is probably going to be more popular, but Solomon Hill's just, for me, he's on the never play list. Do you like Bridges or Marcus Morris better? I mean, probably Marcus Morris, but it's super close. I mean, I like both quite a bit. I guess if you had the salary, though, you could take Bridges maybe. Bridges probably plays more minutes. I expect both to be relatively productive, though. Both should average around a fantasy point per minute. So, I mean, I guess if you have the salary, play Bridges, but God, it's so close between those two. I like both a lot. OG and Zeller or Marcus Morris and Bogdan? Probably OG and Zeller there. But that's another close one. Thoughts on Goga? I mean, I don't have any interest in Goga. I know Miles Turner's out, but with Sabonis playing, Sabonis is going to get 34, 35 minutes, and Goga just going to get whatever 12, 13 minutes that Sabonis doesn't play. I mean, how many minutes has Goga played these last two games? He's played 15 and 18 minutes, so he's basically just been the backup to Sabonis. So if Sabonis plays 35 minutes, that means Goga's probably playing 13 minutes. I don't think we want to play Goga if he's only going to get teens in minutes. I'm out. Thanks for everything, Noah. Hey, sure thing, Daniel. Sure thing, my man. Good luck tonight, brother. What's up, Noah? Sorry, just got here. How do you feel about Marcus Smart tonight? I mean, we've already said it. Like, I don't have a ton of interest in really any of the Boston guys. If I had to play anyone on Boston, I think it would be Jaylen Brown. But in my one lineup tonight, I don't think I'm playing any Celtics. Unless some news changes that, I don't think I'm going to go to any Celtics. I mean, yeah, random. Like, if you want some low-owned guys, like, I think there's not going to be a ton of chalk in the late night games. Like, I don't see much ownership going to anything in the late night games. So, yeah, if you want to play some of the Celtics, I think they will be somewhat low owned. The do not play list. Hey, there's a lot of guys on the do not play list. Ja Morant's slowly making his way there after last night. God, I hate Ja Morant. Anytime I play that dude, he sucks. He's slowly making his way onto the do not play list. But on the do not play list, you got Solomon Hill, you got Tony Snell, you got PJ Tucker. You never play them. The entire team could be out, and I still wouldn't play those guys. Last man in, Boucher or Devontae Graham. I'd probably take Devontae Graham there, Mark. I'm pretty high on Devontae Graham. I'm not sure how the public's going to go to react to him, but I really like Devontae Graham tonight, so I'd probably take him. Thoughts on Rondo with no Pat Bev and no Kawhi Leonard? Yeah, so how many minutes did Rondo play last game? I mean, they still have Reggie Jackson. They still have Terrence Mann. Rondo got 21 minutes last game. I mean, yeah, like, he's probably only going to play 18 to 20 minutes. I don't have that much interest in Rondo. Like, I think there's just other, like, I'd rather play Wanamaker. Wanamaker's probably going to play like 10 more minutes than Rondo, so yeah, I don't have any interest really, King Carter. Random question, what's your biggest win in DFS? A couple years ago, like back in 2017, I took down a Yahoo. Yahoo does they do a season-long, like, Yahoo Cup, it's what they call it. It's basically a season-long tournament. They do it for every sport, and I took it down for NBA 2 or 3 years ago. It was 10K. So my biggest DFS win was 10K. Feel the same way about Morant. When I play him, he sucks. When I don't, he plays good. Yep. 100%, Patrick. 100%. Like, I'm sure Morant, I don't know who the Memphis plays next, but I'm sure Morant's going to smash, and I'm not going to play him after I played him last night, and he was disappointing. I thought I was the only person with the do not play list dumping tournaments on mine. I mean, yeah. There's just guys I just never play. Yeah, definitely like PJ Tucker, Tony Snell. Like, those are guys I just never play. Bojan or THT if Morris is out. If Morris is out and THT starts, I'd probably take THT, but I have a feeling that if Morris is out, they'll probably just start Wesley Matthews. But yeah, if THT starts, I'd probably take him there. Baisley or Marcus Morris? I'd rather have Marcus Morris. Which combo? Siakam, Wanamaker, Siakam, Niang, or Brogdon and Zubac? I'd probably go Siakam and Wanamaker there. I'm calling it first double-double for Nurkic since he came back. I mean, if he gets the minutes, he could double-double definitely. But, God, like, I don't know. It's so tough to click Nurkic's name right now until we see him get more than, like, 22 minutes. But I feel like the night he does finally get, like, 26, close to 30 minutes, I mean, he's gonna crush. Because he's still, like, 5,300 or something. But it's just hard to click his name right now, not knowing how many minutes he's going to play. Make a do not play list over every slate. Morant, Nurkic, PJ Washington have hit it, unfortunately. I feel you there, man. Morant's getting close, man. God. Anytime I click his name, it's like, man. Like, Morant could be in a matchup against the Kings. He could be 6K, and he would somehow still not get there if I play him. Anytime I play that dude, he sucks. God. Zeller and OG or Boucher and Marcus Morris. I'd probably go Boucher and Marcus Morris there between the two. Gary Trent, Marcus Smart, or Covington? Give me Gary Trent. Is Robert Williams not playable because Thompson's back now? Yeah, I don't have that much interest in Robert Williams. His minutes have gone down a little bit. The production's kind of been down too. I'd rather have Boucher. I'd rather have Harrell if Drummond's out. If Drummond plays, I think I'd rather have him. Rather have Zubac for cheaper. Like, there's just so many other centers I think I'd rather have over Robert Williams tonight. Kennard has sucked in 2 games for me now. Yeah, he's been starting in place of Kawhi, but he really hasn't been that good. Like, he hasn't really done much. I don't think I can go to Luke Kennard on this slate. If it was a different slate, maybe, but there's too many other cheap options I prefer. Any thoughts on Kendrick Nunn? Played 32 minutes last game. Yeah, we mentioned Kendrick Nunn. I don't know if he's going to start again, but he did start last game, and he got 32 minutes. So if he starts again, he's another guard with Wanamaker, with all these guys we've talked about that you can throw into the value pool. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here. We've been live for about 45 minutes, so as always, guys, appreciate y'all being here. Best of luck tonight. If I don't take down a tournament, hope one of you guys do. All right, good luck, fellas. Good luck tonight. Thanks for tuning in.